So I have been in a huge reading slump for most of this year. I've not had the motivation to read. I've not had any 5-star reads. It's not been my year. I came across in my recommended YouTuber Julie's Reading made a video about a readathon she is hosting called the Game Changer Readathon. And I've decided I'm going to take part and attempt to black out the 3x3 bingo board and read 9 books over the course of 2 weeks. Am I going to succeed at this? Solid, maybe. I think I am, because when I set my mind to something and I'm determined to do it, I do tend to accomplish it. I don't know that I'll be doing much else across these 2 weeks. I will be working full-time. I do have a full-time job. But I'm going to read 9 books in 2 weeks. So right now it's the first day of the readathon. I'm going to go over my planned TBR for the readathon, and then I'll be vlogging throughout and seeing how much I can get read. For the bingo board, each square is based on an episode of Game Changer, with one based on an episode from each season, and then there's a free space in the middle, kind of ish, not really. And to make it extra fun for myself, my goal is, if I get through the readathon, I have a list of books in a document that I want to buy, because all the libraries that I have access to or know somebody who has access to don't have these books. I can't find them anywhere. So, or they're new releases that are upcoming that I'm really excited about, or they're sequels to books I already have and loved and read, and now I want the next one. So I have a list of books that I want to buy that I already know I'm going to purchase them. But I want to get them when I finish this TBR or get close to finishing it, because in the summertime I'm not going to be able to go to the library as much. So I want to have books here for me to read during the summer. If I can complete this bingo board, fill it out, full black out the board, then I get to buy this list of books that I want to buy. If I don't do it, I don't get to buy them, at least not yet. Maybe eventually I'll get to buy them, some other challenge I'll have myself have to complete in order to get them, but I won't be able to get them yet. But anyway, on to my TBR for the Game Changer Readathon. The first square is inspired by Season 1, Episode Nom Nom Nom, and the prompt says, something that you want to eat or drink on the cover. The only book on my physical TBR that has food on the cover thankfully does look really yummy. Big ass wedding cake. The book is Eris Takes All by Emily Wibberley and Austin Siegmund Broca. It's a young adult heist novel about a teenage girl trying to sabotage her dad's wedding. And that sounds like an absolute delight. I love a messy drama. I love a heist. This sounds just like it'll be really fun to read, so that's my pick for the first prompt. I will not be reading these books in order, so I'm going to read them in my own order, but I'm going in the order that they're listed because that makes the most sense in how to present this. So the next one we have is based on Season 2 episode Do I Hear $1? And the prompt for this is the book that I bought for the cheapest, which is, of what's left on my TBR, is My Career War by James Lord. This is a nonfiction book about a queer soldier during World War II, and that just sounds like something I'll enjoy. I bought this at a library book sale. I think it was probably like 50 cents, maybe $1, but that's the cheapest that anything on my physical TBR was. Everything else here is purchased either from like secondhand bookstores or was bought, I think, at Barnes & Noble with a gift card. So I guess technically those were the cheapest for my wallet because it wasn't really like money, but no. So library book sale, it's the only one I have left from my library book sale haul that I haven't read yet. And the next prompt is inspired by Season 3 episode Changer Con, and the prompt is, has had very different wide release covers in your country. So the book I have is Perfect Cover by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. It's a YA novel about a like cheerleading squad that are like actually also spies, and that sounds like just the most fun ever to me, and it's bright pink, but this is not the original cover. The original cover, I'll put a picture of it up on the screen. This is a newer edition and it has little sprayed edges. Look at it! It's bright pink and it's about spies. It's bright pink and it's about spies. Those are the two the two things in my personality. I like things that are pink and I like things that are about spies. That's all I need in life. That's all I need in life. I'm so excited for this, although I am a little nervous about it because I read the naturals and I didn't care for it. My fiance read it and loved it and was like, you'll really like this. And I didn't vibe with it. It wasn't for me, but that doesn't mean I won't vibe with this. There's plenty of authors where I've read some books from them I loved and then read other books from them like this is not your best. So, you know, maybe I just started with one that wasn't going to be for me, and maybe this will be for me. So I'm really, really hoping that I love this. I think I will. I have no idea. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll hate it. I really have no idea, but I'm so excited about it because it's pink and it's about spies. The next prompt we have is based on season 4 episode Sam Says, and it says, a friend chooses your read, or a loved one, or somebody you can find to pick for you. So I picked everything else for all of the other prompts, aside from the last one. We'll get to that at the end. I set them aside, and then I told my fiance, okay, pick me from what's left. And what she chose for me is The Revenge Game by Jordan Taylor. I don't know why she picked it. I didn't really ask. She just picked it. This is a YA book that seems to be like a drama, maybe some like, can't tell if there's maybe like romance or like breakups or both. I really don't know. It looks like it's giving like Mean Girls energy, a lot of like lies and secrets and backstabbing each other kind of vibe of like, I don't know. It sounds exciting. It sounds fun. And I'm excited to read it. So hopefully I love it. The next one we have says, now players, you know how the game works. And the prompt is book you know nothing about, which I chose Dead Popular by Sue Wallman because the back of the book has almost nothing to go off of. I bought it because it was pink and, you know, I guess there's like murder and stuff and that sounds fun. And that's enough to pique my interest. I'm down. I have no clue if I will like this or not because I know nothing about it. I'll read you the back of the book. You don't become the most powerful girl at school by playing nice, and Kate Jordan Ferreira is ruthless. But when long-held secrets start coming to light, she realizes someone is playing a much more dangerous game. If Kate keeps lying about her past, her final year at Pankhurst could be exactly that, her final year. Which tells me basically nothing. I don't ever go into a book knowing absolutely nothing. Like, I always read like the summary on like the back covered inside flap or wherever it is. That's as close to nothing as I have on these books because that's all it gives me, and I bought it anyway, so we'll see. But it definitely fits the prompt. Next one we have is based on the season 5 episode Karaoke Night, and it says your favorite album chooses your read. I don't really have a favorite album. I have a lot of albums that are favorites. I don't have like this one's my absolute favorite. Like, I really don't. Most of what I listen to is either electro swing music or like show tunes. I listen to a lot of musical theater. I chose Operation Mincemeat because I am obsessed with it. It is definitely among my favorite theater albums, and it was the easiest one to find a book for, so that's why we did that one. I chose The Secret War by Max Hastings because, well, it is about like World War II espionage. If you're familiar with Operation Mincemeat, it is also about World War II espionage. And the cover for this looks just like, hold on, I have to get it. It's all the way up here. It looks exactly like, hold on, I need to hold these up side by side. The Operation Mincemeat, like, behind the scenes book thing that you can buy at the show, which I did buy, and yes, it is signed by the full original cast. But yes, this is the album that I chose. It was my top album on my Spotify Wrapped of last year, so I think for not having a favorite album, I think it being at the top of my Spotify Wrapped does qualify it. Yes, Born to Lead was my top song, if anyone's curious. The next prompt is based on the season 6 episode Deja Vu, and the prompt is a reread. So, a lot of options. As you can see, everything not in this shelf, everything else behind me is all books I've read before. So I have plenty of options, and I actually haven't chosen what I'm going to reread yet. It's going to depend on a couple things. One, what I'm in the mood for, and two, how much time I have. So reread is going to be the last bingo square that I fill. I want to fill everything else on the board before I do that one, because I need to make priority my physical TBR. Reread is a fun bonus thing. I have this year been rereading one book every month, so I will have to reread something, but I'm prioritizing the physical TBR first. I really want to reread one of my Janice Hallett books. I've really been wanting to reread the Twyford Code in particular. I've been like having the urge to reread it for like the past month and a half. And I have not given into that urge because I have a TBR. So if I have the time, I think maybe I will let myself reread the Twyford Code. Next one I have is based on the season 7 episode 1 Year Later. And the prompt is a book that was published or you acquired almost exactly 1 year ago. So I don't have a very large physical TBR. Everything I have here I acquired within the past couple months. So closest I have to exactly 1 year ago is not exactly 1 year ago. I have The CIA Book Club by Charlie English, which was published in March of last year. So like, you know, a year ago and a couple months, which for my physical TBR is very, very close. I think everything else was like off by like a couple of years. So we'll take it. We'll take it. We will take it. So this book is about Cold War espionage and like trying to win the war through books, which I love this. That sounds like a delight for me. I love books about books. I love books about spies. I have a lot of books about spies in this pile, and if you're wondering, is that indicative of your regular reading? Is it mostly just spy books? Yes. Welcome to Codename Bookish, where my username does tell you everything you need to know. I like spies. The last prompt I have, we don't know what my prompt is yet. It's going to be based on the season 8, episode 1. I'm going to have to come up with a prompt based on the episode. I'll be back after I've seen the new episode. I'm so excited. Okay, I am back. I've watched the first episode of the new season now that it's out. What a joy, what a delight. I absolutely loved it. This episode was super, super easy for me to figure out a prompt for to get to read something else on my TBR. So, the prompt I am choosing on is toxic workplace environments. If you've watched the episode, you can put together why. And the book I am reading is Creep by Jennifer Hiller, which is the main character of this book ends up like having an affair with one of her students. Hi, editing Taylor here to correct past me's misspeaking. She is not having an affair with one of her students. She's having an affair with her teaching assistant, who is having an affair with a student. So I think that would wake up the big scary puppet. So I'm gonna go start reading The Secret War and see how far into that I can get. I hope I can finish it. I won't finish it tonight because I'm gonna go to sleep at some point. I did the math, and I think in order to finish everything, I would only get like a day and a half with each book, which I think I could do. So really this would be like at some point Wednesday I would finish this and then start another book that day. So I think I could do that. I think I could do it. And there's some books that I think I can maybe knock out in a day. I don't think this is one of them. This thing's massive, and that's why we're starting with it. So I'm going to read this, and I'm going to know more about spies and codes than I did before, and I'm going to be better for it. Okay, so I was up much later than I wanted to reading last night. I finished the first 150 pages of The Secret War. I woke up really early this morning, not on purpose, but because my body is used to being up for work, and I was able to get the rest of the book finished in the 4 hours that I was awake before my fiance was awake. So, spent that whole morning reading and finished the book. Didn't love it. Honestly, if I didn't have to finish it for the readathon, I definitely would have DNF'd it. It had interesting information in it, but the way it was told was just so dull. I felt like I was reading a textbook, and I didn't really have a good time with it at all, which sucks because it was like 550 pages. But the good news is it's done, and we're less than 24 hours into the readathon, so I feel really good. I started on Dead Popular. I'm not very far in. I'm only about like, I don't know, 20, how far in am I? I'm less than 25 pages into this. So far, I'm also kind of bored. Less boring than the other book was, because at least this one isn't a textbook. But I'm not sold. There's not much story yet. Nothing's happened yet. Like it has time. It'll probably get better. I've had a boring morning. But I'm hoping it gets better. I did not know that this book was going to be British. But the prompt was book I know nothing about, and we'll see what happens. We'll see if I like it. We'll see if it gets better. I'm hoping for the best, but slow start to my readathon. Can only go up from here. So I just finished Dead Popular and another 2-star read that I would have DNF'd had I not been forcing myself to finish things for the readathon. So off to a not great start. This book I felt like was pretty slow. It's supposed to be a murder mystery, but the murder didn't happen until more than halfway through the book. They introduced so many characters, and I feel like barely got to know most of them, and I don't know. The story didn't work for me. I found myself confused for most of it and not able to follow what was happening. I really wanted to like it. I like a book sometimes with like a main character who is just unrepentantly the worst, but she wasn't even entertaining. Like, it wasn't even like she's horrible and I just want to watch the chaos unfold. I was kind of just annoyed with her and with every other character in the book. Almost like I really wanted to like it, and it didn't work for me. So yeah, we're off to a rough start, but I've finished 2 books in under 24 hours, so that's really great. If nothing else, I am making a dent in this TBR, so that's something. That's worth something. I'm gonna, I think, read Eris Takes All next, and hopefully I enjoy this one. After I finish this, I'll be a third of the way through finishing this readathon, which feels great. So let's see what I can get done. I'm in my car right now, but reading update. It is Wednesday. I'm a couple hours under 2 days into the readathon, and I'm about 125 pages into Eris Takes All, which I'm not loving, but I am liking better than both of the other books I've read so far. So I guess that's a win. I feel like this book's had a really weird start. I've never read a heist novel that starts when the heist starts. Like, usually there's like the, get to know your characters, setting up the team, all of that like good stuff. I don't know who most of these characters are, and I haven't given a reason to care about them or be invested in them. So we're off to a weird start. I'm hoping we'll like get some of that, but we're 125 pages in and I feel like I know nothing about anyone except for the main character. So I don't know that I'm liking it yet. I'm like, I don't think this is the vibe. It feels like a really poorly structured heist novel, which makes it less fun, because I want the heist to feel like it has stakes. Like I want a reason to care. I want to care, but right now I'm just like, okay, and so it's not bad though. It's fine. Like, it's not. I don't hate everyone, I guess, and I don't really like anyone because I don't know anyone. I'm hoping to, over the next few days, finish this and at least another 2 books. And then I could be like halfway through. That's my plan. That's where I'd like to be. We will see what I accomplish. It is Friday. I am about half-ish way through Eris Takes All. It's still okay. I think it just has poor pacing and poor character development. But I do love a heist, so we're powering through. It's not bad. It's just not good either. It's fine. I'm hoping it'll get better. I don't know that it's gonna, but we're managing. But I brought it to work with me because, just in case, you never know, because you never know if you're gonna get time to read, even though you're probably not gonna get time to read. But I did have time to read for the first hour of my shift. Problem is, I left it at work, and it's raining out, and I don't want to go anywhere. I just showered. I don't want to go back to work to get my book. So we're gonna start my queer war. My plan today was to read for the rest of the evening, and then I left my book at work. So we're going to start this, hopefully enjoy it, hopefully finish it tonight, because how long is this? Okay, maybe we're not going to finish it tonight, but we're going to try. We're going to try. It's about 350 pages, which is also about how long Eris Takes All is, and I'm only about halfway through that, and I started it Tuesday. So I don't know if we're going to finish this tonight, but we're going to try. We're going to try. Okay, we're going to try. And we're hopefully going to finish it. And then we can get my other book back tomorrow and finish that tomorrow. I'm not the kind of person who has multiple books going at once. I know a lot of people like to read that way. It does not work for me. So this is going to be a not great experience. But it is unfortunately, out of necessity, what needs to happen. Because I am on a time crunch. It's been a few hours. I have finished my queer war. which is great because that means tomorrow I can finish the book I'm actually in the middle of. Enjoyed this. It was fine. I didn't love it. It is a memoir of a gay soldier in the army during World War II, and I enjoyed it. I found it to be a little bit hard to follow at times because there were just so many people being introduced, and I didn't always know what was going on because it would shift from like one thing to another thing constantly. But for the most part, still a pretty enjoyable read, definitely very interesting. I'm a little over a third of the way through my TBR for the Readathon, and we're only like 4 days in, so I feel relieved at that, and I'm hoping to get more done over the course of the next few days after work. It is Saturday evening. I have finished Eris Takes All. I actually remembered to bring it home with me after work today, and I rated it 3 stars. It was okay. I found it to be pretty predictable. I found a lot of the characters to be not very fleshed out, but I love a heist. It was fun at parts. I wish we got more in the beginning, like exposition, like getting to know the characters and understand who the heist team is. I'd rather get to know them before it begins rather than like barely getting to know them at all. But then it's like, oh, and now we're all best friends. They've barely interacted the whole book. It was weird. But there were parts of the book that were genuinely fun. There were a lot of really enjoyable scenes to read. Ultimately, 3 stars. Like, I had a good time reading it, but also I would have rather been reading something else. So I don't know. But yeah, we are 4 books into my TBR for the Readathon, which is great because that means we're almost halfway done and we are less than a week in. So, next book on my list is Creep by Jennifer Hiller. I'm going to start that and hopefully finish it over the next few days. I definitely am gonna black out my bingo board. We're on schedule. We are on schedule. So it is the morning of Tuesday, May 26th. We are just over a week into the readathon, and last night I finished Creep, and it's my favorite book I've read so far for this readathon. There were some things in it that definitely didn't work for me. A couple plot holes. I thought the twist was really predictable, but ultimately I did enjoy reading it. Like throughout, like I actively had a good time the whole time. Crazy, I know. I've been really picky lately. I think the problem's me, actually. I think the problem's me. Like, I don't know that I loved it, but there were some scenes that I really, really loved, and like some of my absolute favorite tropes that I very rarely ever encounter were in this book, and that was fun for me and no one else. So I did have a great time. So I think I'm gonna rate this 4 stars. That could change. I think if it didn't have those couple scenes that I loved, it would have just been a 3-star read. But I don't know. I struggled to get attached to the characters. Like I wasn't that invested in them as individuals, but I was invested in the plot. We had a great time, and that's what matters. When I get home today, I'm going to start the Revenge Game. I'm hoping to finish this between today and tomorrow because I'm working both days, but I think I can finish this as well since I finished this in 2 days that I was also working. I think I can finish this in 2 days that I'm also working. So that's my plan. And then after that, I guess I've got 3 more books to go. We're almost there. Okay, I need to calm down. I'm like, I have no time. I'm not going to finish everything in time. It's been a few days. I had really bad allergies. I lost my voice for a few days. I'm just now starting to get it back. So I haven't really filmed any updates, but I don't know when I last filmed. I think I filmed after I finished Creep, which I really enjoyed. You're wondering why I look like this. I just got back from a Pride event, so I have 14 bows in my hair and an absurd amount of rainbow everything everywhere. My fiance made this lovely little top that I'm wearing. Isn't it so cute? Anyway, over the last few days, I finished The Revenge Game, which definitely my favorite book I've read so far for this event. We are so fucking back. I finally found a book that I'm like, this was so good, so everything. I absolutely freaking loved it. It was a young adult drama with like a little bit of like mystery element to it. I love a story where it's this relationship is horrible and you the reader can see it, but the character cannot see it. And like we see all the red flags and maybe they see the red flags too, but instead they just rationalize everything. It's like, no, it's fine. This is fine because of this, and making excuses for every single terrible thing. And it's like just watching them put themselves in an awful situation, but it's so delicious as a reader. So that's fun. And I love a good revenge story. Like, if he fucked you over, go fuck him up. Like, 100%. So that book was truly, truly a joy and a delight. Really the best book I've read in a while. Probably one of my favorite books I've read this year, to be honest. I have not read a lot of big hits for me this year. So, but I loved it. It was great. And then I also finished the CIA Book Club, which is a nonfiction, like Cold War espionage history kind of thing. So I definitely learned a lot reading that. Not nearly as entertaining as the book before, but I definitely learned a lot. I had no idea about any of this. It's about how the CIA sponsored a program to bring banned books into Poland and like supply the Polish resistance with like literature, which sick as hell. I love that. That's so cool. So that was definitely interesting to learn about. And I'm currently about halfway through Perfect Cover. I'm not sure how I feel about the plot. The plot is like kind of just beginning. There was a lot of like setup, which was great. I love the world building in this. It's so fun. Like, it feels very like this book's from 2008, and you can tell, not necessarily all in bad ways, but like it feels very 2000s. Sometimes in good ways and sometimes in bad ways, but it's a fun read though, for sure. I'm having a lot of fun with this. I love spy stuff and I love everything like pink and sparkly, so there's some fun here for me. I'm excited to see where it's going. I'm also a little anxious to see where it's going because like depending on what direction the plot goes, it's really gonna make or break whether or not I like this book. But I really love the world building. I like some of the characters. Some of them I'm not really sure how I feel about right now. I'm not sold on the main character. I think she's kind of annoying, but some of the side characters are like, I just want to put them in my pocket. They're adorable. But yeah, I'm having fun. Honestly, it truly is a joy to have a book about spies that looks like me. Look at it. It looks like me. Spot the difference. Spot the difference. Hopefully I'll update soon. I need to finish this. And then this is my second to last book. I need to also do a reread. So depending how quickly I can finish this will depend what I can reread. I want to reread the Twyford Code. That's what I put on my TBR. I don't know that I'm going to have the time for it because this is going to take me a bit of time. It's not that long, but just the formatting makes it's going to take longer than I think that's just how Janice Hollett's books work. They're formatted strangely, and so they take me longer because I'm not used to the formatting. So I think if I can finish Perfect Cover today, then I think I can read the Twyford Code because I just have, well, depending how much more of today, and then also tomorrow, and then most of Monday. A moment of appreciation for the face paint I got done at the Pride event. A moment of appreciation for the 14 bows in my hair. I made a lesbian flag out of bows, except it's upside down because I wanted the pink in the front. Okay, yeah, I will update when I have an update. Unless I lose my voice again, because it's been coming and going. Okay, bye. So, I've taken off my makeup, undid my hair and the 14 bows that were in it. And it's about 5 o'clock now. I've finished Perfect Cover. Honestly, there wasn't a ton of plot. Like, the plot didn't really start till halfway through, and then I don't feel like it was really resolved. It was kind of just like, okay, they did a couple things, and then I feel like it was left really open-ended, which I think is on purpose because there is a second book, but there's only the 2 books. Like, it's a 2-book series, which I don't know if that's intentional. Everything's going to be wrapped up in the second book, and it's only supposed to be a duology, or if it was, like, supposed to be longer and then never got picked up for more books, or what exactly happened here, because I feel like, at least from this, like, I feel like this should be a longer series. Like, maybe that's just me wanting more. I don't, look, I had fun. The vibes are fun. I love the just girly pop aesthetics, spy shenanigans of all of it. Like, truly, that is enough for me. And I'm invested in the stuff that has been set up. I want to know where it's going. I want more information about the spy stuff, because I feel like they're setting a couple things up and I want to see where it's going. I have so many questions. But yeah, I'll definitely be ordering the second book, so I'm going to add that to my list of books that I'm going to purchase, assuming I complete this challenge, which I'm going to complete this challenge. I only have to read one more book. Do I think I have to? I want to read the Twyford Code. I've just been thinking about this book a lot lately, and by lately I mean the past couple months, and I want to revisit it because it's been on my mind, and I feel like I should revisit it while it's on my mind, because that's kind of the whole point of having the shelf full of books that I love, is like, so when I'm super, super thinking about a book and fixated on it, I should revisit it and read it. Like, that's the point. That's why I have these. So I feel like I should. My fear is that I won't finish it in time, because I'm exhausted right now. I think I can get, how long is this book? Let's break it down. Just under 400 pages. Okay, so do I read a middle grade book because it'll be short and I know I'll finish it like by the end of tomorrow? Or do I push myself and challenge myself, because this is a challenge, or challenge myself and give it, like, I think because I'm excited about it, I'll actually finish it. I think we're going to do it. I think we're going to give in to the madness. And I'm hopefully going to get at least 100 pages in before I go to sleep tonight. That's my goal. It's only 5 p.m. I'm just really tired, so I think it's later. It is only 5 p.m. I'm just exhausted. I can probably get more than 100 pages done. All right. It is 5 o'clock on Monday, June 1st, last day of the challenge. And I just finished with the Twyford Code, my reread pick for the challenge. And we did it, friends. We blacked out, and we didn't do shit. I did this. I blacked out my bingo card for the Game Changer Readathon. I read 9 books in 2 weeks, and I feel tired, also sick, and still sick. I've been sick for one of those 2 weeks. I have 2 books on my physical TBR left. I'll read those at a leisurely pace now, because I don't have to rush myself to get through 9 books in 2 weeks. So I'm going to order the books that I have earned for my completion of this, that I get to buy the books that I want to read this summer. That's going to be fun. I'm so happy. And I'm going to get some writing done, because I've neglected that in order to read a lot. So that's my plan. Thank you for joining me along this readathon. Thank you to Julie for running the readathon. I am so, so grateful for the amount of effort that you put into this, and it has been so much fun. I feel like, I don't know if I'm out of my reading slump, but if I'm not out of it, I'm at least closer. Like, I can see the surface of the hole that I've dug myself into. So that's helpful. And I'm about to go dig myself further into the hole, because I have a lot of writing to catch up on. So thank you for joining me along this. Thank you for watching if you've made it this far. Okay, bye. Bye.